Okay, so I just played a fun game. Let me see if I can get a rematch going on here. 'Cause this guy wanted to play me. The board doesn't get any larger here, unfortunately. Okay. If he wants to play me, I'll play him. I just did the queen sacrifice on him, and we ended up in a draw. So um, I guess he's not accepting. All right, let's just find a new game here. Okay. So here once again, let's do the queen sacrifice. And okay, let's bring the queen out here. And what I want to do now, I could sacrifice in two key places. I could hit his weak pawn right here, and his king would have to take, or I could hit his knight. And I think, let's see, I think what I'll do is hit his knight. That usually makes for a more exciting game. And okay, so this is part of the strategy. He's probably confused, he or she, probably exactly. See all the question marks right here. Okay, so now let's just develop. Make sure he cannot do any even exchanges here. He offered me a draw. I will decline. Let's decline the draw. I'm not drawing you. I have a higher rating than you. I'm not going to draw you. Draw, decline the draw. You're going to run out of time. We're even on time now. Can he keep offering draws? I think he can only offer 3 draws. I'm not sure. Okay. Continue to develop. He's got doubled pawns. That's another... Why is he just giving away his pawn there? I don't know. It's not good, because now I'm hitting this pawn. I'm hitting his c6 pawn. I mean, this is just now setting him up for all sorts of trouble. I mean, that queen has to run away. Otherwise, okay, or block, that's fine. Well, that gives me this nice square. And notice this knight will be safe here for quite a while because there are no pawns that can attack it from either side. Okay, so he's developing. Let's see. Let's kind of stop that development and also strengthen the knight, defend the knight a little bit more in case this pawn makes it all the way down here, something like that. Okay. See, at any time I could just push the pawn up, but let's get out of the pin first. Maybe even castle. So I'm looking at my pawn on e4. That'll be a nice pawn chain going on. Plus, I'll be pushing it up with a tempo. Let's also reinforce this square. I own this square now. There's no way he can own this square, and I can take possession of that square at any time. That bishop move I don't understand because now this pawn here is pinned. If this pawn moves in the future, if it moves out of the way, like if my knight can come here now, and if it does, this bishop over here is toast. And that's obviously... Actually, I think this might work better, hitting the weak pawn over here. So how's he going to defend this? The queen has to come into play now, which is fine. Well, actually, no, he can't defend it with the queen either. Yeah, that pawn's dead. That pawn is mine. So I'm down, according to this chess website, I'm down 5 points, but with this pawn acquisition, I'll be down only 4 points. I think I've got some winning chances here. He's probably going to castle on this side. My bishops are both, well, my dark squared bishop is strong. It's hitting this whole diagonal. Okay, so what does that do? He's coming at my king with his pawns. That's fine. This bishop is very strong now, and his dark squared bishop is very weak. It's not doing anything. It's stuck. It's not doing anything. Now he could pivot over here. I've seen games where the bishops do a little pivot and all of a sudden they're the strongest pieces on the board. So he could do that. So let's find out. I mean, is he going to... I mean, he could do that down the road. Could also pivot this light squared bishop as these pawns come steamrolling down for my king. I've got to be a little bit careful. Let's see, what other ideas? This knight here looks attractive. It's going to hit this pawn, which is going to hit the queen, by the way. So that's an attractive move. My light squared bishop is not doing anything. It's stuck over here by all these pieces on white squares. Probably not going to go this way. It's probably going to eventually have to come over here, and if I can do an exchange with the light square bishop, I probably would. It depends. It really depends. I don't know if I want to do an exchange with the light square bishop. Oh, they disconnected. Well, they disconnected. What do I do? That's fine, I guess. So I think he ran away. I'm going to just assume that he ran away. And that's part of this insane opening. It's unfortunate that he ran away, because I think he had some chances here. If I was him, I probably would have pushed this pawn. Let's see, what would I have done as him? Maybe even develop this rook, bring the rook out here. And, to defend this pawn in turn. And then, what would I do? I'd probably just take that, because his rook's over here, take that. Well, he's about to lose. He's got 50 seconds, to do something. He still can castle too. As soon as my bishop takes over here, or my bishop gets out of the way, I would probably castle and get this knight going, castle, move this f rook onto the e rook. Okay, so he left. He just left. So that's part of it. That's part of the queen sacrifice opening. Is sometimes you'll get just frustrated players because they're up a queen, but they're not winning. And so that's part of the psychological element of the opening. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was somewhat interesting, not as interesting as the first game, but still, this is another example of what happens with some of these psychological thrillers.